All right, welcome back to Studio K. I'm in here with When the Dust Settles. Can I get a little name and introduction from everyone?
I'm Silver. I'm the screamer.
My name's Lockett and I play the drums.
I play the guitar.
I'm Lily. I play bass.
Sweet. And then I'm going to give us a little rundown of what we just heard. So we had Someone Likes Charles Bronson. We had 40 Cowboys, Come After Me, Big Guy, Everett, and Someone Likes Hella. From what I know, a couple of those at least are from your recent EP that you guys put out. I Think We Will Be All Right. That came out March 29th. This is your first release ever, right?
Yes.
Yes. And you guys haven't been a band for super long. When did you guys form officially?
Zoe and I started playing maybe six months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been a band for 6 months, and then Lily joined in probably December.
November.
No, late November, early December, and then Silver joined around that same time as well.
Okay, cool. Was there like a moment that you guys were like, we've got to start playing together? Or was it just like in talking?
Yeah. I mean, so I had a project that kind of dissolved, and it was me, Lockett, and another person.
Okay.
And me and Lockett really were passionate about making screamo.
Okay.
Another person was not. So it started as me and Lockett, and then Lily, our first show was where they live. So they played with us.
Cool.
Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I feel like we were hanging out, and then you guys kept mentioning like playing music, and I was like, well, I don't play bass very well, but I would love to play with you guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just started playing music.
Cool.
I just got a text from Lockett at like 9 p.m., which was well after my bedtime, that said, "Do you want to scream?"
That's awesome. So Screamo was the intention from the get-go.
Yeah, there's a lot of like subgenres of screamo.
Yeah, for sure.
And the subgenre has definitely made a switch
Okay.
since we first started. Like at first we were gonna kind of do like bass level, like normal screamo, and it devolved into like freaky emo violence, power violence screamo.
Cool. And so, like I said, you first released your EP March 29th. You had a EP release show at Pillar Forum. Did that feel any different for you guys from playing the shows you'd played before? Like, did it feel different to have music out and released into the world?
Yeah, I'd say it did, just because like there's like a little more that goes into the show than just like showing up and playing.
Yeah.
We had played like a pretty, I think the like week before we released, we played like a pretty big show. So I think that like, so it was like there was a little less pressure, I think, because we had already played on the stage before then. But Silver has something to say.
I felt a moderate amount of pressure because I actually had to like make sure I got the lyrics because it was actually released. We got some advice from someone a while ago that was like, you don't need to worry about lyrics until you release.
Yeah.
And then we had released, and then I needed to really worry about lyrics.
Yeah.
I think also we did all the recordings ourselves in my bedroom. So shout out to our upstairs neighbors, by the way. They put up with a lot. Yeah, props to George Records. But yeah, so I think like live, it probably sounds a little better than I was able to do with like a theater mixer and and my minimal knowledge of mixing. But like, so I think that's a pressure too, is like they hear it on the record and it sounds different live.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was going to ask because in the liner notes, you say that it was recorded, mixed, and mastered in the messiest bedroom in the lower 48. So you're talking about your bedroom there?
Yes, we were talking about our house.
And what was that process like for you? Like, did you want to be recording? Like, was that the goal when you initially started, was to put out music?
I think for both of us, we just like wanted to make something. I don't think we didn't have like a name or any like real idea of what we wanted to do. We were just making music together, and eventually we were like, oh, we have a couple songs. Maybe we should record these.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can talk on that more. I mean, like I really like studio stuff.
Okay.
it's like one of my goals in life is to do stuff like that. And like, so I did a lot of research on like people like Steve Albini and that kind of stuff. And then the tax return hit and the tax return was spent. So
Yeah. And in terms of like the songwriting process, did you find yourself like having ideas for the like sonic, like strictly musical aspects and then the lyrics come later? Is it more non-linear?
I guess for the music part, it's me and Lockett will go and I will slam on my guitar and Lockett will slam on the drums for like an hour a day. But you can talk about lyrics.
Yeah, those two will get a song ready, and the three of them will play it, and I'll sit and I'll like take my little notes. And then I'll usually like hammer something I've already started working on into fitting the song and then throwing in some more to go with it.
Cool. Well, and then I was going to ask about Everett, especially. That's the one where you're starting out talking a little bit more, correct?
Yeah. That's honestly, it's a bad poem. I kind of wrote it with like the knowledge that nobody would really be able to hear the words except for like the last little bit,
Yeah.
which is like the little things can make you hate a person, which I'm sure everybody has experience with.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and that one definitely
Yeah.
stuck out to me. Yeah.
We wanted to do a song that was like pretty at start and then got really evil,
Yeah.
and that felt like an apt sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
I had to like beg Zoe to keep that song around. Like the amount of times Zoe was like, we don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Or like, I want to retool it. I would have to be like, no, it's fun.
It's also like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's like
I
pretty.
hate that song.
It's like really pretty. and
Yeah.
then it's fun and
Outvoted.
aggressive.
Yeah, no, the digression of that is super cool and definitely, I think, expresses the overarching feelings of some inner turmoil, some love and loss going on, I think. At least that's what I'm gauging from the
We
EP.
made that song. I went to Zoe and I was like, I want to make a mincecore song.
Sweet. Okay, and then in terms of, I wanted to ask about the cover of the EP as well. Is there a story about the cover art? Like, did one of you make that, design it?
Yes, our darling guitarist was like, had a fantastic idea for what it should look like,
Yeah.
the rabbit surrounded by thorns, and then took it to me, and I was like, ooh, like we've both been getting really into printing recently. I've been taking a class and then like just talking about it constantly. So we created the design and printed it. We printed every single liner by hand. And then we had like an assembly line writing out like the track list and
Yeah.
like all of the, like every single thing on those pieces of paper was like put there by a person.
Mhm.
Printers involved. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, no, that's super impressive. And I know that you also made your own merch for that release as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a shirt that says all when the dust settles fans go to heaven on the front, and then these two angel wings on the back. And we don't have screen printing supplies, so we ended up making cardboard stencils, and then we couldn't buy enough fabric spray paint, which was quite quick to use.
Yeah.
So we had to resort to sponging on like fabric paint, which was very slow to do.
Yeah, that's tedious.
I have a picture of their basement, and the entire floor is just covered with half finished.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember seeing that too and being like, they're putting their heart and soul
Yeah.
into this project, which is so cool. And definitely that DIY spirit you got going on is so cool. Shaka. And in terms of the DIY-ness, if you will, how do you feel like the local scene has been like supportive and also kind of like shaped your experiences and progression thus far?
The local scene here rocks. If anyone ever tells you that the local scene here sucks, they just don't know what they're talking about. I think it's like really tight knit. It's what punk should be. I know the second show that we ever played just became a benefit for one of the bands that got all their gear stolen. So that was like really cool. And then like of course like we have amazing acts like Mold and Ode to Autumn and Love Scare and like all those guys and Welt. Yeah, so it's like awesome to see that this scene is surrounded not only us but like each other. We've gotten a lot of help from the people from Bugsy, just because they think that we're nice. It's like you can get very far here with just like being chill,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah. No, it's so.
Shout out Emily from Bugsy. They like seriously like I remember they've always been like super supportive and like our first show they were like, oh, like I can help with sound and like really cool.
I'd like to say big ups Juno.
Yeah.
Juno's really cool. Juno's in like a screamo band too. Heavenly Blue. They've been really helpful to us and been really nice to us. They did our sound for our release show.
Yeah.
I think another thing that's really awesome here is how many just like little DIY record labels there are. So I mean, Guilty as Charged, I One Run, George Records, and then like there's Daylily Arboretum, which is like vaporwave, and like Texas Heart, which is like screamo and hardcore. And I just think that that's really awesome. That's a really awesome feature of the Minneapolis scene.
Yeah. No, it's so tight knit and
Last thing.
yes, please.
Everyone's also always doing splits with each other, which is just so cool.
Mhm.
Molden friends. Unfortunately, I can't remember them all. Just put out a split, which is crazy. It's just constant.
It's Mold, Love Scare, Linus, and Shotback.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's been so fun to see you guys get interwoven into that community and see you guys on bills with people we know and love. It's awesome. And then in terms of local stuff, do you guys feel like you get comparisons to local artists often?
Yeah.
Comparisons too?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, like we get early Husker Du.
Yeah.
But but like local artists, people are like aware that we're in a similar genre as other people.
Yeah.
But I think we do things a little bit differently.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was just wondering because I know I've like heard you guys talk about just experiences from people that have been in the scene for a while being like, you remind us of this sound that we like know and love, and that feels very like Minneapolis, whatever that means.
One of the members of Mommy Logballs was speaking to us one time. And I guess this is more a comment on the scene as well, but
Yeah.
was saying that like everything happening right now feels just as like vibrant and exciting as it did back in the like late 80s and 90s, but like much kinder.
That's lovely. That's so sweet. And beyond those comparisons, do you have any people that are bands that are sources of inspiration for you that you think you've like tried to model your sound after thus far?
I know we are both really into, like everyone in the band really is super into power violence and like emo violence and stuff. So Orchid, for Love Beheads Daisies is really big for a lot of us. Just like early 90s like emo violence, combat wounded veterans, stuff like that.
I know like for me too, I listen to like just such a wide breadth of weird extreme music. So like I really love like Melt Banana and like Chat Pile and like I Hate God and like all that stuff. It's like that stuff is like when you like listen to it, it's most of our songs could be boiled down to me going, I wonder what this would sound like fast, and then putting my own spin on it. So like I think a good like on our set list today, 40 Cowboys, its code name is Sludge because I said, what if I made a sludge metal song but fast? Because I was listening to Chat Pile that day.
Yeah, cool. And do you think that have those like inspirations changed even in the few months that you've been playing, or like your sound has progressed as you've like gotten into the groove of playing together?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot more into like grind and power violence and that stuff. I kind of used to be a big rap fan. Well, I still am a big rap fan, but like I used to only listen to rap music. So I enjoy a lot of the like hyper rhythmic aspects of those genres. I don't know about you guys.
I'd say we've changed drastically. especially recently, we were at a show, and we were like, Joey comes up to me and is like, let's just make caveman music. And I was like, okay. So we're going fast again, real fast again.
Yeah, sweet.
I could also say that we've changed because I had never screamed before joining. So I've learned how to do that. And I would say that's changed our sound. Yeah. Just by me getting like normal at it.
Same with the drumming.
Yeah, I mean, I also, I used to only play bass, and I kind of like vaguely knew how to play guitar, and now I kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, because are these all instruments you've picked up sort of in the process of starting this band?
I personally never would have played guitar on a project unless I was like absolutely had to, and that was the circumstance of this band happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd wanted to play the drums, and they looked at me and were like, "Get on the drums." I was like, "Sick."
You had no choice.
And it worked pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say it worked out.
Yeah, for sure. And then in terms of, sounds changing over time as you've gotten more into gear and stuff as well, have there been any additions to your gear lineups that you feel like have made that change even more obvious to you?
If how much time do we have? Okay, so it all started out, my father, shout out to my dad, gave me a Boss Power Driver, which is the shortest ever production Boss pedal of all time. It was only made for, I believe, 6 months because it sucks. So from there, I only ever want to play with stuff that looks interesting or is weird. I have a really, really horrific spending problem. I think my pedal board is worth over $3,000. I have so much gear. I think like the biggest thing for us though is my cab. I think the ability to play deafeningly loud, which that was only halfway up for everyone in the room, by the way. But I use a lot of distortion. I got the Earthquaker Devices Sun O pedal, and that changed how I play a lot. The ability to not only be deafeningly loud just from the distortion, but also to have a booster on top of that is crazy. I'm holding right now a Fuzz War by Death by Audio. That's the best $180 I've ever spent. It's indestructible and it sounds crazy.
As a drummer who doesn't care that much about what I'm playing on, there wasn't really anything crazy, but once I got a double kick, I remember I texted them and I was like, okay, I need a double kick. And so when I got a double kick, that pretty much changed a lot of what the speed at which we could play at, because I could not only play faster with, double the kick, but I could do like, even when I'm playing slow, do interesting things. So I think that has changed the way I drum.
Yeah.
I am like primarily a guitarist. So like when I was like offered to play bass with them, it was like I was borrowing my dad's bass at the time, and it recently like kind of broke. So I've been borrowing our guitarist's bass, but yeah, it's just like what we can find, and really your knowledge on like sound and gear is like the whole soul of this project.
I'd say another thing that we lean towards is durability. I've broken 3 guitars in the 6 months that we've been playing. Like I used to play a Jazzmaster and I like snapped the neck on it. I used to play a Mustang and I ripped both of the pickups out of it by accident. And I also I played a PVT 15, and that I think within 15 minutes of the first time I was playing with it, I broke it. So durability is a big thing for us, especially since we play our instruments so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I broke like 4 sticks while playing today.
Today, just now?
Yeah,
Oh my-
they kept breaking. I was getting annoyed.
Whoa.
Yeah, never buy the value pack, I guess.
Find the value pack of drumsticks.
I break them a lot.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a switch.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, since you cranked out this most recent EP with a crazy speed, do you have any, like, have you set your sights on releasing any more stuff? Because I know how many of the songs in the set list were from that EP today? Just one?
Just 1.5 because we have been playing the last one for the entire time. We just didn't record it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that it was like a conscious choice of the specific ones to put on the EP and keeping the other ones in your back pocket. Yeah, cool. And then any shows coming up for you guys?
We played a night at the Sinkhole.
Cool.
And then, yeah, we're still like strongly in the house show circuit.
Yeah,
So, ask a punk.
yeah. Keep your eyes peeled.
On our Instagram, if you're feeling crazy, the only thing we ever post is our show posters.
Perfect. Sweet. And then age old, Build a Bill. I know I've been hearing you guys are excited.
Oh, me first?
Yes.
I have not been thinking about this nearly as much as off the very top of my head, from bands that I like, La Dispute, Charlie Parr. I'm gonna throw Paperclip. He doesn't exist. He's some kid that lives in Norway,
Okay.
and we're gonna top it off with Cat and Jazz. And I don't want to deal with the stress of playing. I'm just gonna watch.
Okay, sweet.
Since it's gonna be a screamo bill, there's like we could get like 5 bands on there.
Yeah.
Her Love Has Daisies, Gulch, Blouse, Saint Sophie, and Joshua Fit for Battle would probably be my dream bill, and we'd play first, and everyone would go after us.
So we would play first. Then it would be in no particular order. I wrote haikus about cannibalism in your yearbook. All my wishes were thrown down a well and should die there. They are gutting a body of water. And just to keep it simple, we'll throw mold in.
Sweet.
I also did not think about this nearly as much as you guys have. They've been talking about it for weeks.
Yeah.
I would have to say Slint, but like pre-Spiderland, we're going Tweez. I will die on that hill. I think it'd be fun to play with Kitty Craft.
True.
She would uplift the vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and Grimes, but like old Grimes, like Spaghetti Grimes.
Spaghetti Grimes.
Grimes trapped on Nicollet Island with her chickens on the houseboat.
And Steve for probably Zoe and mine. We'd force Steve Albini to do the sound.
Sweet.
Also throw in my uncle's band because he really likes Big Black.
And then I'd want a comedy set in between
Ooh, okay.
each band for 30 minutes from Nick Mullen.
All right. Well, that's all I got for you. Thanks for being in here, guys. It was an absolute blast to watch you play. I'm going to send it back to the studio for some more local music. You're listening to Off the Record right here on Radio K, Real College